The Trayvon Martin murder trial now down to just 40 potential jurors. Today, George Zimmerman's parents and sister made their first public appearance since the start of the case, looking on as the prosecution questioned each of the remaining candidates. Meanwhile, the fight continues over the 911 calls, which we've been expecting an answer on now for a couple weeks. They were made on the night that Trayvon Martin was shot. A hearing is scheduled tomorrow to determine whether expert witnesses will be allowed to analyze that crucial video evidence on the stand. CNN legal analyst NeJame is out front tonight. Mark, always good to talk to you. And let me ask you about this. This 911 audio obviously could be incredibly important because you have, you have this call coming in, and you have, excuse me, George Zimmerman talking about whether it's, whether it's his voice. But they haven't made a decision. Why is it taking them so long?
Well, it's turned out to be pretty complicated. The defense has expert witnesses who seemingly indicate that it, in fact, is George Zimmerman's voice that's saying, "Help me, help me." And then the state put on a witness or two and indicated that those witnesses, the state's witnesses, indicated that, in fact, it was Trayvon Martin's voice. Well, the defense challenged that, and there's a Frye hearing going on, which is basically determining whether the techniques and the scientific manner in which the prosecution is using the tapes is admissible, whether it should even get into court. And I'll tell you, the two experts that the defense, excuse me, that the state brought on have really been slammed by the other experts, some world-renowned experts who are saying that they were basically using untested, unreliable, and non-scientific standards when they say the state's witnesses are saying that they should be using them. So there's a big fight going on.
So what's your bet on how it's going to pan out? I mean, you think it'll be allowed or not? And if so, does that just give a huge advantage to one side or the other?
It does give an advantage if it's left out, but, I hate to sound like a lawyer, but it's 50-50 on this one.
Yeah.
On one hand, the judge wants to be fair, let the jurors evaluate which side or the other they want to give credibility to, but on the other hand, it's an appealable issue in the event there's a conviction, and it turns out that these witnesses really are not as good as it seems that they are when we listen to all the other competing witnesses say that they really are using untested and non-scientific standards.
Mark, I want to ask you about something that happened today. The Zimmerman family appeared in court today, and I believe this is the first time. I know his brother Robert has issued a statement and talked before, but apparently is not, quote-unquote, sanctioned by the family. But the family did appear in court today. Why today? What was the strategy?
Well, you've got jurors now who are going to be seated. These jurors are taking a look at everything going on in the courtroom. So you want to be able to show that your client, the defendant, George Zimmerman, is a feeling, thinking, breathing human being. You want to give him some life. And having family, loved ones around you surely passes on that message to jurors. So I think that it's fact strategic. It could be that they simply want to be there for support, and they're willing to finally come out despite what they claim are risks and dangers. We don't really know if there are, but that's what they've been claiming. But at a minimum, they're there as a show of support, showing that they have a son. And that is something that a juror can relate to.
All right. Mark NeJame, always good to see you, sir, and thank you.